LeBron James all the way in.
And here comes Simmons the other way, 3-on-2. Simmons eludes the defender and lays it in with that. Certainly the length altered that shot. Out of the equipment, steps and punches.
Play right there. Porzingis from Jennings, throw down and a foul.
Irving, splits the defense with the dribble.
LeBron James came at my Knicks a little bit hard. I mean, he was really dissing Phil Jackson.
Right.
But it was also a slight at the Knicks organization, which part of me doesn't blame him because the Knicks are a pretty shit organization, even though I love them.
Mm-hmm.
But he came out and said that the Knicks passed on a good one. I think that was the quote. And referring to Dennis Smith Jr., we did not take him at the number 8 slot. We took Frank Ntilikina instead of Dennis Smith Jr., who went at number 9 to the Mavericks. I'm sure all of you know that if you're watching this. But LeBron made a comment saying that, we missed a really good one, and basically we fucked up. And if you had asked me a month ago, I would have 100% agreed with LeBron. I'm going to get a little controversial. Frank Ntilikina is honestly in the top 5 rookies so far this year.
Top 5 rookie, wow.
I don't know how much you've watched of him. Defensively,
I've watched a little bit of it. I watched a couple Knicks games.
Defensively, incredible. He plays like a 10-year vet on defense.
Okay.
Absolute lockdown defender. And
cut your promo.
I'm being dead serious. The man could defend any guard in the league. He's 20. He's got a lot of time to grow. Offensively, he needs to add some skills, but think of what they're asking from him offensively. It ain't much. They're letting Kristaps do most of the work. They're letting Cantor and Tim Hardaway Jr. do a lot of the work. Frank Ntilikina does not need to score buckets. He gets his assists, and he plays lockdown D. Dennis Smith Jr. is very good. If I had to pick between the two, I'm probably taking Dennis Smith Jr. I wish we had gotten him. But to be fair, Frank Ntilikina is a much better defender than Dennis Smith Jr. at this point. So really, it's not that crazy. I was a little hurt by LeBron's comments. Really? I felt like he was coming at my boys, but he really wasn't, guys. I don't know if anybody cares, but he really wasn't. I mean, he really was just, and he came out and said it. He was just trying to throw shade at Phil Jackson, which I don't blame him. Phil Jackson seems kind of like a scumbag. What do you think about it?
What do I think about it? I think the way that Frank Ntilikina plays and the potential I could see him going, I think he's a perfect fit for your Knicks, better than Dennis Smith.
I agree.
The reason why I think that is because with Dennis Smith, he's going to want the ball a lot in his hands, which is going to take away touches from Porzingis, which is who you want to go your offense through. So it takes away stuff from that. Frank Ntilikina is like a supporting role. He's like that dude that supports Porzingis in the future. I think he could get to that role where he just supports Porzingis, gets him the assist. I think his assist numbers will go up. But to me, Dennis Smith is a very athletic guard, someone that I don't want to compare him to like a Baron Davis, like a young Baron Davis.
Okay.
Because I think that'd be like an interesting.
I kind of want to compare him to like a Deion Waiters, honestly.
No, because he's more athletic than Deion.
He's more athletic, but I feel like he throws up some shots he probably shouldn't throw up. But I think it's part of the fact that he's on the Mavericks and they're really bad.
I just think Dennis Smith is just one of those athletic point guards that needs to score the ball a lot to be effective on the team. Until he crafts his game to where he likes it. Yeah. But I think Frank Ntilikina, and I know this is not everyone's favorite opinion, I think he was the perfect pick for the Knicks, and I think he did something. He's going to do something for that culture.
Yeah.
That we haven't, not that we haven't seen before, but it's going to like completely change the culture where it's a Porzingis team. Because I feel like if you had Dennis Smith and Kristaps, those two are going to be wanting the shots. Those two are going to be wanting the ball. And is there going to be enough of the ball for everyone to have?
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of dudes on the team. Like, I just don't think we needed Dennis Smith Jr., really. I really do like him, and I think he's going to end up being, out of the top 10 picks, he's going to be one of the best of this year's draft. But like you said, Frank Ntilikina he fits the mold of what the Knicks were trying to build very well. There's a reason Phil Jackson wanted him. But just like what he's doing right now, he's not playing a ton of minutes either. He's only playing like 20 minutes a game.
Right.
So it's going to keep going up. Eventually, he'll take the starting point guard role from Jarrett Jack, who, not throwing shade at, Jarrett Jack is playing out of his mind as far as where he is in his career.
Right.
But I love Frank Ntilikina. I really do think he's going to be an elite defender. Mm-hmm. And if he can get his assists up to like 10 per game and just play the defense that he does, I'm 100% happy with it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Knicks fans are going to be upset because, Dennis Smith is really balling out right now. He's probably, like you've been talking about, probably one of the top 10 rookies so far this season that have been impressive.
Yeah.
But I just think he doesn't fit your guys' team. Mm-mm. And I think Ntilikina does a better job of facilitating. Of course, he's only playing 20 minutes a game, so it's not really – he's playing half the game, but it's not effective minutes like a Jarrett Jack would be right now.
Yeah.
Or any of those guys that – Courtney Lee, I think, is still there playing. Is he playing a lot?
No. Courtney Lee, I mean, he's getting minutes. He's definitely getting minutes. It's probably around 20. Let me check. I'm going to say it's probably like 22 minutes.
But yeah, guys like that, they're going to get their minutes. They're going to be a little bit more effective than Ntilikina because I think I've seen some of Ntilikina's highlights in the Draft Express. If you guys don't know like what Draft Express is, it's a very popular thing on YouTube where they just break down the games of the draftees that come in. Mm-hmm. So I watched his stuff because, he was being considered almost like a top 5 pick at one point.
I guess Courtney Lee he's up at 30 right now.
So, I mean, like, you got guys like that, and those guys will be more effective because they have a stroke compared to Frank Ntilikina. But Frank Ntilikina, like I've been saying, and like I've probably been repeating myself for 5 times now, he just fits that team's mold, and he just supports Porzingis he will support Porzingis in the future with the way that he plays.
Yeah, I mean, let's get off not necessarily even just their quality or like what we like about these two guys. I just think like it's kind of a weird move by LeBron to come out and say that because not only is Phil Jackson not with the team anymore,
right?
He could have thrown shade. He could have just said, Phil Jackson, you're a piece of shit. He didn't have to make any comment about Dennis Smith Jr. and Frank Ntilikina, which he didn't necessarily make the comment about Frank. He made the comment about Dennis Smith Jr. But by proxy, it is a comment about Frank too.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's going to rustle some feathers because he's essentially calling this rookie out. And the Knicks really do seem like they all like each other right now, which is a great sign. They seem like a bunch of friends playing basketball together.
Right.
So, of course, you're going to have Enes Kanter, who's like one of the best team-first guys in the league, come out and start and throw shade back at LeBron, kind of, defend his boy. But it just makes – I think it's another social media blunder by LeBron. Mind you, it was in like a post-game interview or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think he got a lot of shade for the whole Arthur Fist meme thing.
Yeah, the mood.
People saying he was kind of suspect for that,
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same kind of thing. Why are you throwing shade at this other kid? Like, just say Dennis Smith Jr. should have gone higher in the draft, If that's how you feel about Dennis Smith Jr. and your opinion is true, then just say, I think he should have gone higher in the draft.
Well, I think it's in a way kind of taking shots at James Dolan as well.
Yeah, but why would he be taking shots at James Dolan?
Because of all the issues with, who's the guy, the very famous player, is it?
The guy that got in the fight at MSG? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Not right now, even though I should know it.
I'm not going to say it's Walt Frazier.
It is not. I'm not remembering his name either right now.
Looking this up.
Charles Oakley. Yeah, Charles Oakley. All right. I can't believe I forgot that. That was like the biggest Knicks moment of all last year.
But I think Charles Oakley, that situation got very personal, got very heated.
Yeah.
And I just think LeBron just you know what? He's a terrible owner. They've been terrible for years. And of course, he's just saying another example here is just another blunder by the Knicks, which, fit wise, no, but in terms of talent right now, then yes. Because the thing is, Dennis Smith has a higher ceiling than Frank,
Probably, yeah.
but I think Dennis Smith also has a lower floor than Frank. I think Frank has a higher floor.
I could see it. I know what you're saying. I agree. I actually agree with you. Can I give you a hot take conspiracy theory?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not even kidding when I say this. LeBron James, we know the whole free agent thing coming up, right?
Okay.
There's some speculation as to where he's going to go, right? And there has been rumblings, mind you, they're very distant in the back of the crowd of the New York Knicks. I honestly do think LeBron was considering the Knicks. I don't think he is anymore.
No.
But I think that before the whole Phil Jackson thing happened, where he said made the posse comment about LeBron James, and LeBron James construed that as racist, which it did kind of sound a little racist. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So that is the origin of Phil and LeBron's beef. Then the Knicks passed up on Dennis Smith Jr., who LeBron is very close with. They're good friends. I think LeBron maybe had some intention of possibly going to the Knicks, and based on the whole Phil Jackson comment and then Dennis Smith Jr. not going to the Knicks, I think LeBron has a deep-rooted beef with the Knicks at this point. What do you think about that? I think his anger with the Knicks and the comments he's making it's farther than just Phil Jackson. I think it has something to do with maybe his plans being changed. Because he doesn't want to go to the Mavericks, Because let's think of LeBron as just a basketball player, right?
Right.
I really do imagine LeBron, when he's winding down his career, choosing like I think Kyrie was the guy, right? Originally. Like he wanted to mentor Kyrie to be the next superstar, right? And fulfill the mantle. But I think not only did it not happen soon enough for Kyrie, but LeBron wasn't ready to go by the time Kyrie was ready to get going. So maybe LeBron started to think of who could be the next guy. And maybe it was Dennis Smith Jr. And now he plays for the Mavericks. And LeBron's like, I'm not going to play for the Mavericks. It isn't happening. So maybe he's upset that the Knicks didn't take Dennis Smith Jr. because he would have rather gone to New York. That is a hot take. Tell me what you think about that. I'm being dead serious. I really do think that could be something. Conspiracy theory zone.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with a no for that one. It's a good theory, and I like the premise behind it, especially with all the beef and LeBron not getting his way with the Knicks. But I just think it's too conspiracy theorist for me. I think it's too much power maneuvering. I know LeBron likes to maneuver in power.
LeBron is the king of powering and maneuvering around the NBA.
But I think, like the reports have been saying, I think it's always been and it always will be LA. Because I think he really, really, really wants to play with Lonzo Ball.
I really don't think he does.
I think he does. Or at least I think he knows that this team that's coming up is going to be really good in the future.
Maybe.
I mean, it's still a debate about it, but he's really liking that makeup of that team, and I think if he says he can enter himself in there, he can make them an NBA Finals team.
Okay.
But that's just a theory.
And any Knicks fans watching, I honestly do think LeBron still has a chance of coming to the Knicks. I really mean it. I honestly think he would play in New York because he likes to play in the giant market. Cleveland being his hometown, but he's made it a giant market for basketball. He wants to challenge himself to win championships, but he also wants to play with superstars. Does that make sense? He wants to play in a place where he's not supposed to win a championship, but with a really good player who will help him win the championship. New York is literally, there's not a basketball team on the planet that would be a bigger accomplishment to bringing them to a championship after how bad they've been for so long.
Okay.
Kristaps and him would play incredibly well together. Kristaps could take the offensive load, and LeBron could be his passing, ball-handling self and just pass it to Kristaps to score. There's a chance, Knicks fans. That's all I'm going to talk about. I'm done with the LeBron conspiracy theories, though. Let's move on.
All right. Should we do a little bit of a rookie report?
Rookie report. Boom, 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 boom.
The rookie report.
All right, what are we talking about? What is the reporting we're going to do?
Let's talk about who we think is the surprise
The surprise. Okay.
rookie of the year. Or not rookie of the year, but who's been the surprise rookie so far in this 1 month of basketball we've been watching?
Okay, just very, very, very quickly, because we just talked about this guy. Frank. I honestly was not happy with him as the pick when we had him. I've been very pleasantly surprised with Frank. That's all I'm going to say. But then, let's go to my actual pick. Hold on. You go first. I need a second.
Okay. While he looks up who he thinks it is, I think, in my opinion, after watching a couple games through illegal means,
Oh, he just admitted to it.
just, well, it's not really illegal. I guess you get a free week of NBA League Pass. So it's not really that illegal. But watching it, Chicago Bulls might have a future all-star player on their team,
Of course they do.
and that is Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I don't know if I said it on the Gimmick cast, or if I said it here on the Charge. I was not a fan of Lauri Markkanen. I didn't like his game.
You've talked a lot of
I didn't like anything about him. Maybe, it's a Pac-12 bias because I am a Utah guy. He's Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't like his game. I didn't like anything I saw about him. It didn't scream could be a potential breakout player.
Yeah.
But after watching him play, this dude,
He's legit.
he is legit, and I think a lot of people kind of compare him to Dirk
Yeah.
with the way that he's able to shoot the ball. I think he's going to be better than Dirk.
Whoa. That's a jump.
Maybe I should say better than Dirk in his rookie year, like the first couple years.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong about the Dirk. I'm just saying your jump from being absolutely a hater of Lauri Markkanen to now saying he's going to end up being better than Dirk that's a quick jump in like a 5-week span. I like it though, because honestly, I kind of agree with you.
I just think after watching it and after like really examining these players, examining these rookies, because of course we were both thinking about doing the rookie report for a while now.
Yeah.
Looking at who's the rookie's going to be, Lauri Markkanen to me just screams that he's going to be a future All-Star player. Maybe not a Hall of Fame player, borderline Hall of Fame player, but he will definitely be one of those players that'll boost the Bulls, and it's something they finally have something to build around after they decided to get rid of Jimmy because it was either between the coach or Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
And they decided to choose the coach. And this is the perfect player to kind of build that system around. I'm still not convinced on the coach.
Yeah, I
Hoiberg.
don't like Hoiberg.
I'm not convinced on him, but if you get him a competent coach,
Yeah.
he will definitely be one of those players that'll make that huge jump, almost kind of like a Giannis jump.
Continuing on the European bandwagon from Finland, young Lauri Markkanen. He's a great shout. I mean, he fit. I had a feeling he was going to be pretty good. A lot of people did, but you were a hater, so I can see why he's your top pick for your biggest surprise. I want to go and say the easy answer is Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
Definitely overperforming what his expectations were.
Right.
Especially by me. I didn't think he was going to be shit in the NBA. No offense to Kuzma, Utah Nation, sorry. But I really didn't think he was going to be very good, and he's been incredibly good. But I'm going to pick Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell.
He's a big surprise for me. I don't know why. I didn't think he was going to do anything, really. He just seemed like one of those guys that was going to get drafted kind of high and fade into obscurity. That was just my take on him.
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of been gifted by the fact that Utah has no offensive threats, really.
Well, yeah, because Rodney Hood's out. Or he had a pretty bad ankle sprain, or I don't know if it was Achilles. Mm-hmm. But, obviously, Donovan Mitchell inserted into the starting lineup.
Taking 19 shots a game, I think, is his average right now, which is unreal.
Right.
And his his field goal percentage, last time I looked, it was low 30s.
Yeah.
Which isn't very good.
Like maybe
but
36.
Yeah, I think I saw it at 33 one point. His field
I think it's
goal
up
percentage.
to 36 now.
Okay, getting better. I really like this guy. I think he plays with he just plays really fast, you know, and I like it. I like how hard he plays. I think it's very entertaining.
Yeah.
And I think as he starts to, improve his field goal percentage, he's going to be a very efficient scorer in the NBA, probably for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, other shouts that I would like to shout out, De'Aaron Fox, doing really well. I know the team isn't doing as well in the record-wise, but...
I felt like he was going to be super good, though. He just has, the aura about him. The personality. I don't know. There's something about him that just, gravitation.
Yeah.
He just has it.
And, of course, I can't forget my boy, Jason Tatum. As soon as Gordon Hayward got out, he stepped into that role and has played it perfectly. Him and Jaylen Brown, I know this is more of a rookie thing, but those two guys have filled in a nice role for the Celtics. And
incredible. Brad
Stevens has done a hell of a job with them, and I think I'll talk about Brad Stevens in a later topic down the line.
Yeah.
But, again, another great shout, Jason Tatum.
Well, let's continue to talk. If we're going to talk Rookie of the Year, right? Mm-hmm. Ben Simmons is obviously probably going to be the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
But part of me, I always feel a little weird having a guy who's been in the league a year. Just because he got hurt, he did have the mental training for a year compared to these dudes. That being the case, I really do feel like Jason Tatum is the Rookie of the Year.
Really?
He's so good. He's so good. He plays like a guy. It's the same thing I said about Frank on defense. Frank plays like he's been in the league for a long time on defense. But Jason Tatum does everything like he's been in the league for a long time. He doesn't play like a rookie. His thought process and the decisions he makes are way too smart for a rookie.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I just think it comes down to Brad Stevens, really.
The coaching is a big part of it. You have the best coach in the whole NBA other than Popovich.
Yeah. I guess since we're talking about, all these rookies and how great they've done, let's talk about some duds. Some milk duds. Who's been your dud of the first month so far?
On the rookie side of the ball?
On the rookie side of the ball. I got one in mind.
Easy answer is Markelle Fultz. He's the easy answer, but I'm going to say Josh Jackson.
Josh Jackson.
I just feel like he's not... I don't know, man. He's kind of... I don't think he's as good as I thought he was going to be. That's the thing. And we had the whole discussion about Lonzo Ball, right? A lot of people's answer for this question is going to be Lonzo Ball 100%. But I really do feel like it's too early to judge the guys from both sides. Say how good they're going to be or whatever the case may be. And, I feel like this question for me, answering Josh Jackson, he could end up being incredibly good. I just don't think he's playing up to his potential. It's the same thing. I'll choose my other pick. Jonathan Isaac is actually really good, too. I don't know if you've watched him.
Yeah, I've watched his Magic games. He's really good.
He's very good.
Should I just give my answer?
Go, give me your answer.
Zach Collins from Gonzaga. He's been I don't think he's played that much.
He's trash.
But he has not been at all anything what I expected. I don't know how many games he's played, maybe 2. 2 or 3, and I think he's probably down. But he's one of those dudes, I think he left way too early. He left way too early from Gonzaga.
Yeah.
He had a good tournament. And the thing is with GMs and NBA GMs, they only watch the NCAA tournament while the scouts are actually doing the scouting.
Yeah.
And, of course, the owners and all of them are going to be like, oh, wow, who's that kid? I want to sign him. Mm-hmm. So it kind of boosts the egos of these guys, the players, and they decide to come out to the NBA. But he has just been abysmal, dude. Look at his PER; it's a -13.
That's awful. Yeah, he's not very good. I mean, honestly, I think the answer to this question so far, and we've had the smallest sample size out of this guy out of anybody, but for me, it's Markelle Fultz. Not looking good.
I mean, it's not looking good for a number one. If we're talking about it in terms of where he was drafted, then
you got to take into consideration he's the number 1 pick. And he went over Jason Tatum. Imagine Jason Tatum playing with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid right now. Mind you, he probably wouldn't be on the level he is for the Celtics because of the coaching.
But I think in terms of, I think the Celtics, they originally had the number 1 pick. They were going to take Jason Tatum no matter what.
Yeah, because I think they saw it. I really do think Markelle Fultz was way overhyped. I think it's the same thing for Lonzo Ball. I actually like Lonzo Ball a lot more than I like Fultz, but I do think he was incredibly overhyped going into the draft.
Yeah, because everyone compared him to Magic, which is not a very realistic thing. And maybe we'll talk about it later, the comparisons and what someone said about it. But it's just one of those things I just don't understand why people just jump to these really high conclusions. But, what can you do?
This draft is really deep, though.
Yeah.
Because I've watched a lot of basketball so far this year, and I've seen some of these rookies do incredible things already. Like, Malik Monk has had some incredible moments for the Hornets. And then you have Luke Kennard, who had a great game for the Pistons the other day.
Right.
A lot of these dudes are playing very, very well.
Yeah, and even another shout, John Collins from the Hawks. Beast.
He's a beast. The Hawks are bad, though.
The Hawks are bad, but he's just one of those. He's really good.
Worst team in the NBA. I mean that. Then Dennis Smith Jr. We got to talk about him too. He's incredible. Number 9 pick on the draft. Great. He's gonna be great for a long time. Hold on, I'm gonna count real quick. I think there's 4 All-Stars in the next 3 years in the top 10.
4 All-Stars, huh?
In the top 10.
Top 10. Okay.
Dennis Smith Jr., Lauri Markkanen. I'm going to say De'Aaron Fox and then Jason Tatum. I think those 4 dudes are All-Stars within the next 3 years.
Right.
And there's a chance Lonzo Ball is in there too.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll wait and see.
That's a good average.
Like you said, it's a little too early to talk about this stuff, but it's just a great talking point and discussion to just get everyone names out there and actually watch these games and, find out for themselves how these players are doing.
Yeah. I do love this draft, though. I think this is going to be a classic one.
Classic one?
I think this is a classic one in the making.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Hot take opinion. First Take Junior. That's our show. That's our new show. It's called First Take Junior.
No.
I'm just kidding.